how are you doing today? I am going to talk to you guys today about Whatnot, which I think I've done a little bit in the past, but today I'm actually also going to be showing you what I sold during my Whatnot show today. So first of all, if you're not already aware, Whatnot is a live auction selling platform. So it's very much like a YouTube video, but while I'm on, I go, oh, I have this, and this is, how much I'm selling this for, and then you auction it off. It's usually very quick and short, 20, 30-second auctions. And you pick your starting price just like anything else, and people bid them up, hopefully. So in my own personal shows, I do shows once a week, Thursday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I will typically have anywhere between like 10 to 25 people in my show at a given time. So it usually will start off stronger and then kind of tapers off. I think it tapers off partially because people who are excited about it and bookmarked it come in, they make their requests, they get out when they're done. But also I think because of the time zones, so 10 a.m. Eastern is obviously like 7 a.m. West Coast time. And so as the show goes on, we're like getting into times where West Coast people are maybe getting ready for work, whatever it is, right? So, but with that very small number of people in my shows, I still feel like I do well. I will say that from today's show, the average sale price of an item was $14, which I know that sounds very low. What I like about Whatnot is that it's quick and easy. I generally am able to get around $300 after fees from each Whatnot show that I do. And sometimes they're crappy. I had one week where I literally sold 3 items for a total of $36. That was a horrific week. I don't know what happened. That was just like any other platform. It's not always going to be consistent, but it's pretty consistent for me. And I have a pretty small following. I have, I think, 760 followers. I do shows once a week. So I do like it for the quick money though. I definitely price my items with, taking into consideration what my item cost is. So I'm not going to take a thing that I paid $7 for and sell it for $5, obviously, right? It makes no sense. But I do sell everything very low. Often what I will do, so for example, in today's show, I had this sweater, cute little 90s, chenille sweater. I started this off at $5, and I think when I purchased this, it was probably like $1 or $2, so it is stuff that I'm pricing according to what I'm paying for the items. Also, there will be times that certain things do get bid up a little bit. So I'm saying I have an average of $14, but that's because some things do sell for $5 and some things will sell for $25, $30, so I'm going to go with you. Obviously, I'm still not editing my YouTube videos. I'm going to go through these things with you today and show you how it all went. So let's see. This is all stuff that did not sell today. This is all stuff that sold. So I'm going to go in order of whatever. You don't care what the order is. You don't need to hear it. This is an 80s nightgown that I sold. Now, I don't remember what I paid for a lot of this stuff, but just keep in mind that I made money on everything, okay? Also, when I'm doing Whatnot, I do preload my shows. So that means that when you go and look at the show, everything that I'm offering that day there's a photo and measurements already loaded up into it. I do that for my own sake. You don't have to do that. I do that because I will get too flustered trying to remember, is there a flaw? I don't want to take all this time on screen to do the measurements. So that's just what works well for me, but people will literally go on with nothing preloaded in their show, and they'll just hold things up and go, do you want me to run the auction for this? And that's just not, I can't do that. So I'll do like 1 or 2 photos, typically on my dress form mannequin person. This little nightgown. So this sold for $15. What is this? I'm trying to remember what I started it as. I had to write these down. Okay, so I started this auction off at $10 and it did get bid up to $15. So that was great. So we've got that. Let me see. Like I said, I did have to write all this stuff down. So I'm referencing a lot. This skirt So this is one that I've actually had in a few Whatnot shows, and it had not sold. I don't remember what I started the auction at. It was probably started at $10. I've had it in multiple shows. I didn't really, usually I feel like really phenomenal things sell pretty immediately. So the fact that this had been in multiple shows, when somebody asked to see it, I thought, okay, it's going to sell for the starting auction. It actually did get bid up, and it sold for $22. So now again, if I was listing this on Etsy, I'd be listing this probably at like $40, including the shipping. So I would have gotten more for it, but I would have had to photograph it and write a whole description and the whole 9 yards. This, I took like 2 photos and stuck some measurements up, and that was it. So that was good. Let's see. Oh, this blazer, this little black velvet blazer has also been in multiple shows. I started the auction off at $10 on this. It sold for $10. I don't remember what I paid for this, but again, it would have been under $5 that I paid for it. So, you know, let's see. One of the draws for me with Whatnot is that it's just like a really, again, a fairly steady source of income for me. Plus it's just fun for me to do. So, this little sweater, let's see, 15. So this, I started the auction off at 10 and it sold for $11. So didn't get bid up super high, but again, there's, you know, when you think about the fact that there's only 10 to 25 people in my shows, it's not bad, you know? Let me see. And then this one, this little chambray blazer, I believe this was, let's see. Yep, I started this at 15 and it sold for $15. So, and that's pretty common for me. Usually that's what's happening, is whatever my starting auction is, that's kind of where things sell. They do get bid up on occasion though. So, you know, sorry, I'm trying, like I keep not looking at the camera lens. Y'all are used to that though. All right, let's see, number 14. Where'd she go? This one. What did I start her at? So I started her at $15. This is a handmade dress and she sold for $15. Very cute. So, and again, this one I probably would have wanted to start at 10. So that means that I most likely paid around, I probably paid like $7 or $8 for this, which is why I started it at 15. So, it's a handmade dress. It's cute. Let me see, 38. This is a shawl that I did not pay any money for. This came from the Giant Attic haul. If you've watched any of those videos, number 38. And I started it at $10 and it sold for $13. So I washed it. That's the only sort of expense that was involved. Let's see, number 31, this cute little sweater. Also, this sold for $5. This is also from that attic. And so the only expense was like the cleaning involved. I started it at $5, it sold for $5. So that works out, in and out, which is nice. It's a cute little basic. And the thing is that the majority of these items, when people are buying things from me, they're buying multiple things. Whatnot does give you a reduced shipping rate. So similar to Poshmark, if up to 5 pounds is about like 7 and change, close $7.67, something like that. That is a promotional rate that they're doing for women's fashion specifically. I don't know how many other categories they do that rate in, and I don't know if they will continue doing it. They've been doing it since like October, November, so I feel like it's working well for them. So people will buy multiple items and it shows you every time you bid what your shipping charge for that is going to be. So for a lot of these people, they're paying, you know, basically about $8 shipping for all the stuff that they're getting. Let's see. So number 5, this cute, that's not it. This blazer, which I love. This is like totally 70s polyester. I started this at $10. It sold for $11. So again, like not a huge, you know, bidding war, but it did well and I'm happy about that. And it gets to go to a new home and it's in and out and it's movement and it's just a fun time for me. This brown floral blouse. This, I started it at $10 and it sold for $10. Very adorable. Okay, let's see. What do I have next? So the next 5 items all went to one person. Let's see, I have this very pretty ivory colored dress, and let's see, it sold for 10, started at 10, but that works. So again, this I probably would have paid under $5 if I was listing it for 10. So this adorable little shirt, I love this shirt. And this sold for $10, and probably, so again, I paid under $5 for this. So cute little top. Let's see, number 9. Oh, this dress. I don't remember what I paid for this dress. I loved it. This is a 50s cotton day dress, and it's absolutely beautiful. It does have some fading to the shoulder. It's by a brand or a designer or something that sells for decent money on Etsy and things like that. I'm not going to try and pronounce it. I'll show you the tag. So that's an L that's folded under there. So I listed this at $20. I mean, I probably paid like $7 or $8 for this. It may have been less, but it wouldn't have been more than that. I listed it for 20 partially because it's amazing. And had it not had fade on the shoulders, I probably would have gone for a little bit more. This is also a smaller size, and whatnot for me, I tend to do better with some of the like medium large sizes. I do sell smalls and extra smalls, but I feel like when the show is primarily those sizes, I don't do as well. Let's see, number 7, this is still that same buyer who bought 5 items. This adorable little dress. So this sold for $15. I think I started it at that. Yeah. And again, I started this at 15 because I paid probably like $7 or $8 for this. So I like to start things around $10 because there are always going to be those pieces that I'm starting a little bit higher. I usually have, you know, 1 or 2 pieces per show that I start at a higher dollar amount because they're really phenomenal items. Let's see. Oh, and then these jeans. So these jeans, which came from the attic haul, and they're very small. They're size 29. And they sold for $10, probably started for $10. Yes. So, so that was great. Let's see. The next one is, where'd she go? A Betsey Johnson skirt that I love. And she was listed for 15 and she sold for 15. It's that 90s Betsey that we all adore. Look at that. So fantastic. I loved it. Okay. And then let's see. Oh, this one. This one was fun because this is a slip that I had. It started at $5. It sold for $5. It's just a hand-dyed slip. But I had this in multiple shows, like a whole bunch of shows. And this actually, I still had it in the show as like an item that people could request to see. I will have 50 items that I will run through no matter what, but then I have a bunch of other items that like have been in, I think I said this already, they've been in previous shows. I will run them by request, but I don't run them proactively. This was one of those run by request items. And thankfully, I was able to find it. It wasn't even like hung up anymore. It was like folded in a pile somewhere. And I happened to see it yesterday, which is the only reason I was able to actually pull it for this person. So listed at $5, sold for $5. Let's see. This one, such a cool sweater. This also came from the attic. And let's see, it started at 15. I think that's what it started at. No, this was started at 10 and it sold for 15. So that was nice, got bid up a little bit. Let's see, for 18, this dress let's see what we started. We started this at 15 and it sold for 15, just probably a handmade, look at the cuffs on this. I absolutely love these. I know they're hard to see with the print, but they're just buttoned, long button cuffs. They're amazing. I love it. And this skirt, this was great. And I don't want to say I'm surprised that this did well, because this is the kind of stuff I adore, but a lot of times the stuff that I adore is not always stuff that flies in a Whatnot show or gets bid up either. So this, I started this at $10. The only reason I started it that low was because it does have a spot on the hem that's like kind of chewed up, right? So, and I did disclose that, obviously. I started this at $10 and this got bid up to $31. So that was fantastic. I was very excited about that. I actually have another one of these skirts, but you can see this one has like a structured waistband. The other one that I have, somebody sewed like an elastic band in a very terrible manner to that skirt. And it might also have a hole somewhere, I can't remember, but like it needs work and I haven't done it. And so, you know, I may just sell it as is in another future Whatnot show, because several people were excited about it. So I told them I would bring it into the next show. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, that was a nice surprise. Then let's see, I've got this little Catalina twin set. This was also from the Attic collection. And I started it at 15. It sold for 15. But that's great. It's so cute. And then this top, oh, so excited about this. This was, what number is this? Number 4. Okay, so this, multiple people have requested that I run this, but it didn't get bid up in auction. I started it at $20. It sold for $20. This was from the Attic. The print was amazing, which is why, like, I started it high because the mushroom print, the cottage core styling, like, it's just a piece that I knew would do well. And, you know, there's nothing, I mean, obviously if I was sticking this up on Etsy, I probably would have done that more like $60. So, speaking of my Etsy pricing, by the way, this dress is a dress I've had on Etsy for, I don't even know how long. I mean, I got this early in my reselling journey, so probably like 2014, 2015. It has never sold. I don't know why. It's amazing. So when I say like, I would put this on Etsy for $60, sometimes I put things on Etsy and they sit there for 200 years. So, you know, keep that in mind. That's one of the things I also enjoy a lot about Whatnot. All right, number 24. Oh, this cutie. I don't remember what I paid for this. Let's see. I sold it. I started it at $15. It sold for $15. You know, this ties at a bow. It's a knit top. I had this sitting around for a while because it had some deodorant stains that I had to get out, and they were a little stubborn because of the fabric, but we did it. So I was able to finally list it today. Number 12, this, so cute. This was started at $15 and it sold for $15. It's just a cute little mini dress. This was not from the Attic. Okay. So I, again, probably paid like $7 or $8 for this. Although I would have started that at 15, even I think had it been lower, had I paid less for it, because it's a great dress in my opinion. So, and then the last two things, I've got this t-shirt that I love. I really didn't want to sell it. I mean, it's my color, it's got cats, but it's so big. Like I wasn't going to wear this, and I was never going to get around to altering it. I started it at $15 and it sold for $19. So it had a little bit of a bidding war, but I definitely paid a low amount for this. I only started it at 15 because I really don't want to sell it. Not gonna lie. Normally I would have started this probably at 10. But I really loved it. And so I had a hard time letting go of it. So I figured, okay, it's easier to let go of when you're getting a little money for it. And I thought if it doesn't sell, like I would have listed this on Depop or eBay for like probably around $40, you know. And then the last one of the items that I sold today, this is just a cotton 50s blouse. I sold it for $10. That's what the starting bid was $10. So those are all of the items that I sold in my Whatnot show today. A total of 26 items, averaging out about $14 each. That's before fees. Whatnot charges 8%, but what's weird about Whatnot is they charge a PayPal payment processing fee for each individual thing. So like this thing is going to be the PayPal, whatever it is now, like 3.3% plus 30 cents for every individual item. So that sucks, but that's just kind of how it works. And it's kind of gets a little bit made up for by the fact that it's an 8% fee instead of like 10 or whatever eBay's at now, 12. So, but I thought that would be fun for you guys to see what I sell in my Whatnot shows, how I do with my Whatnot shows. I'm a very small seller. Most of the sellers on there that are successful are going multiple times per week. They have much larger followings than me. So, it's still profitable and I have fun, and it gives me, like, even though it's not a whole lot of money, the amount of work I need to do for it is less. And then like all of these things that have not sold from today's show, some of these may still show up in future Whatnot shows, but also the money that I made from this stuff more than pays for like a sourcing trip. I usually source, like I'll go typically on a Wednesday and source a whole bunch of items, and then they are in Thursday's show. I'm trying to change that dynamic a little because I do like having them loaded up in advance, but I am usually at least covering the sourcing from the prior day, and not everything from the prior day is selling. So, these things like this cutie has been in multiple Whatnot shows, this great patio blouse. And I know this will do great on Etsy. I just haven't gotten it up there yet. So I keep sticking it in Whatnot shows until I have it listed on Etsy. But it basically is kind of like, paying me for the inventory that I'm putting on other platforms at the very least. And it's fun. It's just fun. So I hope you enjoyed that. And I really hope to see you in some of my future Whatnot shows. Like I said, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Thursday. And join that. I was going to say, like, I'm doing a kids show next week, but this video is going to be up like a couple days before and then up till the end of time. So join my Whatnot shows. It's fun. And there's so many good sellers on there. The vintage community is very good. There's a lot of weird, like, Funko Pop and comic books, and there's vintage decor. There's estate sale stuff. There's definitely a lot of big sellers that do like more modern new with tags things. If you were in the reseller community, I'm sure you've heard a lot of things about Whatnot, and there are probably a lot of not good things about Whatnot. I've had great experiences. I have bought things from Whatnot. I have a very small group of sellers that I follow and I watch, and they are all vintage sellers. I don't really follow any of the big kid resellers. I don't go into their shows. It's not stuff like I don't want to buy Lululemon on Whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Other people do, and that's cool. I'm into the vintage stuff. So, go on there, poke around, find sellers that you like, watch a lot of shows before you do anything else, but it's fun. It's a fun time. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.